And we're live. Hey, what's up, everybody? 8:45 on the Pacific West Coast. 11:45 out there for you, Liam, here on in Georgia time. He's up late, staying up late. We got a special guest today. They're in the very right hand side. If you guys aren't familiar, get familiar with him. Shout him out on X here. This is Cody Brown. Cody Brown. Hey, everybody, give a round of applause up for Cody Brown here. Thanks for joining. Thank you. Cody, give him a little introduction here. So I met him through Liam. Actually, he played some college ball with Liam at Pacific Lutheran University (PLU). Shout out the Lutes, not Lopes, because I said Lopes last time when I did that. So, shout out the Lutes. And I'll let Cody talk a little bit more about himself. I don't know if he wants to brag about himself or not, but he was a running back at PLU, all conference guy. So pretty cool to have him on the show. Now he's coaching some football at a FCS level. At South Dakota State, so the Jackrabbits, if anybody's familiar out there with that. So yeah, just great having him on. He's became a good friend of mine now over the years because of Liam. So yeah, great to have you on, man. Thanks for joining. Again, welcome to Hert Locker, guys. Host here, Logan Hertner. We got Liam Neighbors, Cody Brown joining. You can catch the show live on X at LowHert24. It's also under Total Coverage Sports. Or 40 Acre Vibes with Ghost and Friends. So you can catch that pretty much on any of those channels. It's shared throughout. We appreciate if you can go like and follow and subscribe on YouTube. That really helps us out, guys, big time. So thank you if you guys can do that. Appreciate that. Mucho. Again, great to have you on. Thanks, guys, for joining late night. I know Cody just got off a plane, I think like 30 minutes ago, coming back from South Dakota. So
Exactly.
Little bit of jet lag coming, but that's okay. He said he's down to hop on, so I'm just glad to have him on. So, yeah, man, we'll give a little recap on you. Just tell us, what you do at South Dakota State. We've been trying to keep tabs on the Jackrabbits pretty much all year because of you. It's kind of kept me in the FCS loop of things just a little bit more than usual. So, yeah, just kind of give us a breakdown of what you do and what's the everyday life at South Dakota State.
Yeah, so I'm the special teams quality control coach at South Dakota State. So I work directly with the special teams coordinator. So I'm helping plan and game plan with all the special teams units. So the kickoff, KOR, all those guys. My day-to-day work during the season. It's a lot of scout cards, scouting reports for the week, for the next week, and then just getting prepped for practice. And yeah, it's busy. You'd think there wouldn't be that much stuff, but you're there till it's like 7 a.m. to 1 in the morning every day. So it's a grind. It's a grind, but it's awesome. It's a cool profession to be in for sure.
So give me like a breakdown. Like what's the consistent schedule for you? Like what time we waking up? What are we doing? What's the first thing we're doing? All the way through your day. Like if you had to say like a pretty normal day for you, give me one.
So normal game week. So like Monday. So Monday typically is like a 9 a.m. We have a 9 a.m. staff meeting, but so you get there. That's the one day you kind of get to sleep in. So 9 a.m. staff meeting, and then after that, I meet with our special teams coordinator. His name is Isaiah Jackson. We all call him IJack. So I'll meet with IJack for like 2 hours. We'll review what we want to implement and like what looks we want for practice that day later. So Monday is typically a walkthrough day, so we'll have a walkthrough, but we still do scout card stuff out there, so I'll still have a scout team. And so once that's done, so that typically happens around the walkthroughs at like 5 or 6. We'll have a team meeting. So you're pretty much, the players are done by 7, and then I'm working for Mondays or Tuesdays practice pretty much until probably midnight or 1 until that's completely done. So I got to like make scout cards. I got to send it out to the players. I got to make scripts for the coaches. I got to do a bunch of stuff. So I got to make little scout team packets for the guys, put it on their lockers. So it's a process. The first couple of weeks I was there till probably 2 or 3 in the morning because I just didn't like have a process down of like what I needed and what I needed to get done. So,
right.
But once the season got along, I wasn't there as long because I knew what I was doing. I could do it quicker. So, and then like, that's pretty much the same thing for Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday is, we call it a no sweat Thursday. It's 45 minutes. The players don't even have cleats on. It's pretty much a jog through. And it's just reviewing all the stuff. But for me, it's a lot more work because on those days they review all 4 of the special teams units. So I got to gather up all the scout guys, and so it's a little more stressful for me. And then Friday is Fast Friday. They stretch. It's only 45 minutes again, but they're running, and it's a quick run through. And then you got game day, and then after that Sunday, you're back in the office. You're breaking down. You're doing some of the things I look for on Sundays is like our hidden yardage. Who is the leading tacklers, the fastest guys, fast 40. We call them flying 40s on kickoff, who's down there. And then we meet with the head coach and we review the game. And then all Sunday night is game review. So that's pretty much the week in a nutshell. But and I did that for like 15 weeks straight. So
yeah,
every day was the same. It was 15 weeks of straight work every day, no break. So
well, and you guys have the expectation, man. Like you guys are a playoff team. Pretty much every year you're always competing for a natty. So you kind of have to expect like 15 weeks is that's gonna happen. You know, you're not going in there thinking, oh, I'm only probably gonna get 10 or 11 weeks out of this. No, you guys are looking to make a run. So no, it's just cool. It's just cool knowing where you come from. You know, hometown, Tualatin, Oregon, here local. So shout out the Wolves out there. That's pretty cool.
Let's go.
Yeah, so it is cool, man. Just seeing all the connections and people that we know now on a national basis and getting some coaching in at that level. And hopefully you just keep moving up. You know, hopefully maybe you get to Oregon State one day and help them out.
There we go.
Lord knows they need it.
That's the ball right there. They need
it. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Cody, I got a question for you. So obviously it was Coach Jackson's first year in the program and you're working those crazy hours as an assistant. Do you think going into year 2, it'll be a little bit shorter, at least from the preseason prep, just because, you know, it'll be second year, everything's established now, or is it going to be about the same going into next year?
I think, I mean, for sure, like going into the first season at his first time as a head coach, gathering up all the guys, like it just wasn't a traditional off season. Like our strength coach, Coach Morris, is the best in the country, and he didn't really get to start his program until the summer. Most guys get to start their program like in January. So like, and think about it. It's like our high school class is already done for 26. So our class is done. We're pretty much done with transfer portal guys. So like our team should be done, but like his goal was like, it should be done today or like before our Christmas break, which was today. And yeah, so it's a completely different off season from what last year was. Last year, I think I got there in February. I think they finished their high school class in like end of January. And you were still getting guys in the portal after spring ball, which we won't do, I'm sure of. So it's a different off season for sure. Will it be more or less work? I'm sure it'll always be the same amount of work. This is a standard of just being at a program like that. But I think for sure it's a different off season for sure.
Did you think, like, going into it? I mean, obviously you played at a D3 level as a player, and then, you know, I don't know if you really think about what coaches do behind the scenes, right? Like when we're playing, we're just playing. Like we're not really thinking, oh, what are these guys doing? How many hours are they putting in? Like when you showed up, was it kind of a reality shock, like kind of a reality check of, wow, like this actually is way more than it is. And the thing is you're not even a DC or an OC or one of those top dogs, right? So I mean, you were saying the hours, right? We're going 7 a.m. to 1 a.m. Like that's just incredible doing that on a daily basis. And you're not even one of those guys, you know? So that's just crazy to me. You know, I don't think about that enough as a coaching staff and what these guys go through. I mean, you see some of the guys on TV who look like they never sleep, look like they haven't slept in 4 days. And I would imagine that's something that actually happens. Like these guys lack sleep every single day.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, some of the smallest things you would like, I just remember as a player, it's like you think about scout cards, like scout cards take a long time to you're watching the clip and then you're trying to draw it up correctly so the guy can do it the right way. And if you don't do it if the player doesn't do it the right way, you get your butt ripped, right? You get yelled at. You're not giving the team the good look, right? You're not giving them the correct look, which they should. it just takes a long time to make like just even those little things. The scripts for practice, making sure you're organized for the scout team, or like just all those little things. Yeah, it's just you take it for granted as a player because you doesn't really like, you don't even process, you don't really think about it. You just kind of like, you go to practice, they got a scout card, all right, look at the card, go. But for sure, yeah, I had no idea how much of this stuff, I didn't realize how much of those little things like became big things for us, for sure.
Right. I mean, what's the weather? I gotta ask about the weather. Was that a
Crazy,
complete,
dude.
like, is it as crazy as you thought, or even more so?
My first day there, February 20th, it was negative 16 degrees. Yeah, I'm not joking. It was negative 16 degrees, and I shipped my truck from Portland to South Dakota, and I got there like the exact same time, and I had everything in these yellow top bins you see at Home Depot, and I had like my contact solution, I had soap, I had anything liquid was frozen solid in the back of my truck. It was like crazy. I couldn't open my door to my truck for like a good 5 minutes. I was just yanking on it because it was frozen. But even today, like, I should have taken a picture and sent it to you guys. There was like, it's like 10 degrees there or whatever it is right now, but it was like snowstorm. Like, you couldn't see. Like, I was driving to the airport. It's about 50 minutes from where Brookings is to the airport in Sioux Falls. You couldn't see 10 feet in front of you on the highway. It was like dusting. It was like a dusting snowstorm. So, and then there's a bunch of ponds and lakes that are on the side of this highway, and you would have never thought it, but because it's so cold, they're all frozen solid. And then when the snow hits those ponds and lakes that are frozen solid, just hits the ice and then bounces right onto the highway. And that's like when it's like you can't see 5 feet in front of you, so you're just slowing down. Wow. And the highway there, it's like 80 miles an hour. That's like the speed limit. So you're like in the slow lane, hoping somebody's just not flying down.
You're just guessing at that point
because you can't see. You can't, like, I'm not even joking. It was sketchy this morning. It was weird to see because I left there at a snowstorm, and then I came here, and it is like monsoon pouring down rain over here. Right. So
yeah, typical. You grew up here. You know what it
is. Typical. Yeah, I was used to that. But the one thing is the wind. The wind is what gets you. Like, I can handle the cold, but it is windy there. It is.
Yeah,
nuts.
The wind chill is a little bitter. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta say just real quick, Thursday night football just ended. Seahawks did win.
Crazy.
Went for 2 and got it 38-37. So I'm a Niner fan, guys, and the Niners are still alive for the 1 seed, baby.
That's big for you now, right? Because you control your destiny.
It is big, yeah. It's hard for me because I don't want the Seahawks to win, like, ever. So having to like low-key root for them tonight, and I don't like the Rams, but having to like low-key root for them because now here in 2 weeks while we play the Colts Monday night, they got the Bears in a tough game the next week, but it's not at Chicago, so we don't got to play in that freezing cold shit. So now they get the Bears at home in Santa Clara, and then they get Seahawks in Santa Clara. As long as we win these next 2 games, man, that game against Seattle is for the 1 seed, for the division, for all the marbles. It's like history itself is just writing all over again. God, I love it, man. The Niners aren't even healthy, and that's the best part. Is if I don't want to hear from anybody, I see Tanner putting "Go Hawks" on here with question marks. Yeah, never in my life. Ghost, I gotta respond to this. He said G5 guy taking a couple months off. I didn't take a couple months off. I took like 2 weeks off because of Thanksgiving. Anyway, but I am back, and I am conforming to an Aggie. I know it's some nasty work, but I got to do it.
This isn't anything new, though. It's not new.
No, it's not new. Like, I'm not just now conforming. Like, I conformed a long time ago. So,
but look at this. We got representation from, the SEC. We got G5, and now I got FCS in here. So what more can you ask for in a show?
Right. No, we're covering all realms of football going on in the show.
But before we jump into FCS, I got one more question, Cody. When it comes to cold weather, right? You guys obviously play outdoors at South Dakota State. Do you guys think you get better? Go Canes. Thanks, Tanner. Do you guys think you get better in the cold as the more you practice, or do you just never get used to it?
I think there's a different. So like we played New Hampshire in the first round, and I don't know if you guys saw that, but it was like 4 or 5 inches of snow. They were blowing off the lines during timeouts. It was awesome. It was sweet. That stuff you're never going to get used to because it's just like we would never practice in that because it's just you're going to get hurt doing that. But like when it's like 20 degrees out, windy, no snow, I think there's an element to just being gritty and just going out there and practicing in that. That some of the teams on like, I don't know, like West Coast or just the teams that don't live around that, you know. But I think you do. You definitely get calloused up, and you can be better prepared for it for sure than somebody who, like, let's say if you never practice in it. I do believe you can get calloused up and be prepared for that weather. I don't know about the snow though. The 4 inches of snow and you're sliding around might be a little difficult.
Yeah, I don't know how you can prepare for that either. Especially like the snow, like you said, it's a safety thing too, so you're not going to risk just getting prepared in it. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, for sure, it does take a little level of grit for some of the guys, and luckily we got a lot of South Dakota Midwest kids are a little different. They've grown up they're from little towns out in the middle of nowhere. So I
was gonna say, and then you got the people above you, North Dakota State. They play in a dome, and they're always a 1 seed, so they never have to go on the road and play anywhere in harsh conditions.
Not anymore.
I mean, they are built different, but they're built so different that Illinois State's still playing and they beat them, which is incredible.
The Illinois State played them. They played them well the first time. So they played them earlier in the regular season. I think it was like week 6 or something, and it was like 28-17, and it was like 17-14 at halftime. I believe it was close at halftime, but the Illinois State played them well the first time around. But yeah, for sure. It's
we'll go right into that FCS stuff just because we're already on that topic. You're an FCS guy. We're just gonna go right into that anyway. Talk a little Illinois State at Villanova. Villanova is gonna get a home game. They were 2009 champs. So it's been a little while for them. It's weird saying that because they're a freaking basketball school for D1 level. So pretty wild seeing them in an FCS level for football. Spread though, Illinois State is favored -2.5 on the road. I took them straight up last week as a dog, and they got a win there. Total at 52.5. I don't know really anything about the totals and over unders in these games. I get scared, and obviously you're a coaching guy, so you probably are not doing a lot of betting.
No betting.
He said no betting. But me, on the other hand, I get the podcast about it, and me and Liam get to have some fun with it. So it's part of the show. You don't have to say anything if you don't want to, but I do like taking Illinois State. I got to ride with them just because of the last couple weeks. I've actually watched all their games. I will say Villanova though down 21-0 Tarleton State last week and having the grit to come back and get a dub there. Pretty good stuff there. So it should be a fun game. And like as if there isn't enough football to watch this weekend. You have now this game to watch this weekend as an FCS person. It's just more good football. You got Brawl the Wild coming up again, coming in the other side of the bracket. So, there's plenty of football to watch this weekend. If you're complaining of bad football, I don't really know what you're watching. You must be blind because there's a lot of it going on this week.
I mean, I would argue that both of these games are more exciting than the 2 afternoon and evening games on Saturday. Because you get A&M Miami in the morning, awesome, that's going to be great. And Fantastic. Then the quality of game most likely falls off unless Tulane or JMU decides they want to make it competitive. 2 single-digit spreads. Illinois State -2.5. I think Montana State's a 5 or 6 point spread. It's going to be must-see TV and winners head to Nashville. So I can't wait for both.
So at least give me some picks here. We'll go across the board. Like I said, I'm taking Illinois State -2.5. I'm taking them from the dub. Liam, who do you got?
I'll say I think the most impressive thing about Illinois State, especially beating North Dakota State in that first round, was their quarterback had 5 picks, and they still found a way to win 29-28. So I'll ride with the Redbirds once again. I like Illinois State to win this one. Close.
Just don't throw 5 picks. Don't throw 5 picks again because I don't think that's going to really work out anymore from here. There's not many times you throw 5 picks and losing. Yeah. Cody, what you got?
I got Illinois State. I got the Missouri Valley team. I think watching them play UC Davis last week, you really saw like how much I thought they looked bigger and stronger than the West Coast team there. And that Daniel guy, and then the number 2, Daniel Saab. I can't even say his last name. Daniel Saab. He had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
he had 3 touchdowns against us, and he was a dog. So again, he just broke, I think, all the records pretty much. Finished up all the career records that last game against UC Davis. Crazy story. When we played Illinois State. Never seen this before. I've been a part of hundreds of football games. I've watched as much college football as I can. Never seen this before. When we played Illinois State, I've never seen a team shoot themselves more in the foot than we did. First play, so we kick off. They drive down 4 plays. They score a touchdown. Okay. After that, they kick it off to us again. They sky kick it. Our tight end fumbles. They get the ball back. They score in 2 plays. So it's 14-0 within like 2 minutes. Okay.
Ouch.
They kick it off again. We get the ball. Second play of our drive. We're on like our own 20. We throw a pick 6. So it's 21-0 with like 4 minutes into the game. And then we get the ball back again. We punt. Our punter drops the ball. Just drops the ball, and they get the ball on the 30-yard line. They score again. It's 28-0 with like 6 minutes into the game, and we're like, "What is going on?" And then we come back. We let them score. I think the halftime was like 35-7, and we come back and we lose like 28-35 or something like that. Or we were 1 play away from making it a 1-possession game. It may have been like 35-21, but Illinois State's a good team. Their quarterback. Rittenhouse, I believe his last name is, but he's a solid player. And then their running backs, they had some good guys, but their receiver, that number 2 guy, he's the stud. He's a stud. I got Illinois State. Villanova though. I think they should have lost that game. Really, the Tarleton quarterback should have kept it and got the first down, and he would have had a shot. Yeah. He threw the corner into the goal. It was 4th and 3. He could have easily got the first down with 30 seconds left, and they could have scored or had another couple shots at it at least. But he threw the low percentage corner fade route, and obviously incomplete. Now Villanova's in the semifinals, got a shot. But Villanova's running back's number 4. He's an athlete. He's an explosive player. I like him.
So,
love it.
All that being said, you guys did give this team one of their only losses on the year. Their only other losses to Oregon. So at the FCS level, you guys gave them their only L. It was early on in the year, and now you're watching them play in a semifinal in a rematch with their rivals. This is interesting to me. I know it's at Montana State, so in Bozeman, 5.5 just seems too large with a team that's got 1 loss, with a quarterback that's almost got 4,000 passing yards with the Grizz. So I don't know. I look at the numbers. I'm looking it over. I've watched the last couple of weeks. To me, Montana off the page looks so much better just statistically, and looking at all these guys that they have, like every single category, top to bottom, they look better. But the fact that Montana State is favored, it kind of makes you wonder. Obviously, they do the little things right. It seems to me like they're very disciplined. I do like the under in this. It's going to be freaking cold. I do like the under, but I think it's probably really close. The 5.5, I got to take Montana plus the 5.5 with the Grizz on the road. And
what's the weather? What's the weather?
Some redemption. I didn't check the weather yet, but I just figured, man, it's in Montana. It's got to be cold. Obviously, they're, like you said, teams get used to it, but you're not always like totally used to it. You're not always like fully prepared to play in that.
I think we're going to get some decent weather. It looks like 38 and sunny on Saturday.
Ooh.
So we might no snow game, which is disappointing for us, but that's not even Cody, you can say that too. It's not that bad, right?
No,
you'll be just fine.
That's t-shirt.
That's bombing.
Weather.
That's bombing.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's t-shirt weather.
Pull out a Mai Tai for that game.
Right. I mean, I still, man, I think I got to take Montana plus the 5.5. I like what they do. I like their QB, super athletic, great arm. He's a lot of fun to watch. And the running back, he, again, statistically on paper, this team looks like they would be able to dominate this game. So it's a little bit of a red flag that they're a dog. I know they lost the first time, but it's hard to beat a team twice. So give me that Montana plus 5.5. What do you got, Liam?
Yep, you took the line right for me. It's tough to beat a team twice. 5.5 is too much as it is. Like I said, the last game was only 31-28. I think is a 3-point game. It's going to be a close nail biter again. But yeah, I'll take the Grizz as well. So I got them to cover and to win straight up.
You guys both have
the Grizz? Yeah, I like Montana and Illinois State to play in the national championship. And I think
if it was snowing, I was going to take the under. But if it's clear like that and you're letting this guy maybe sling the pill a little bit, I'm going to have to go with the over, man. I might have to hit the over.
Yeah.
I think the winner of this game, though, will win the national championship.
Oh,
I would agree.
For sure. Yep, I agree with that. I think if it's a neutral site game, I think Montana's been on fire. I think their offense has been killing it the past couple of weeks. And that number 6, Michael Wortham, he's probably one of the best all-purpose players that we played all year. He's legit. He's really, really good. But I think if I were to pick a team, I would pick Montana State to win. Home game. That stadium is awesome. When it gets packed, we played them in the Gold Rush game, and it was the coolest atmosphere ever. But yeah, I think Montana State's got a pair of running backs that are really, really good. They got a Taco Dollar and his brother on the defensive side. I think he's had a pick. The last 4 games, and I think maybe 5 games, and 2 of them have been pick sixes. And then his other brother.
He's got 6 this year.
Yeah. His younger brother, I don't know if he's younger or older, but his other brother is a receiver, and he's like an All-American punt returner. I remember the whole game plan was to limit his returns, keep it away from him. So he's a stud as well. I'll take I'm not picking a spread or totals or anything, but if I had to choose a team, I'd pick Montana State to win. I think that's me, my pick.
Cody, you guys played 3 of these 4 teams right throughout the year. What do specifically Montana State do so well to separate themselves from the rest of the field?
I think from the rest of the field that they've played, I think this just based off the teams that they've played, I think they're physical, and they have a really good run game. I think they have a lot. They complement their offenses, complement each other a lot. They have, for instance, you got for Montana, you got a really good quarterback and you got number 10 Gilman. Gilman's a all Big Sky running back. You got so they can run it, they can pass it, they take deep shots. They're creative on offense. And then the defenses for both of the teams too are really solid. Montana State's is the better version of both of those two, but I think they just complement each other well on offense, and then defense they're physical, they fly around, so they cause turnovers. That was the big thing.
Awesome, love it.
Okay, so there's only 2 games for FCS, so we don't have to elaborate on it too much, but I think that's pretty good hash out there. I think this is what is this going to be? 100. It's on AB. Is it on ABC? I think this game is on ABC.
Yep.
Which is really awesome that they're going to put a game like this on ABC with all the other games that are going on in the day. For all the Wild, it's I think the 125th all-time matchup, which is really, really cool. So obviously you're having a kind of a legendary moment, a chance to go to a natty. Please do correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure
never played each other in the playoffs. This is the first time ever. I know SDSU and North Dakota State have played each other a couple times in the playoffs, but this is the first time I believe that Montana State have ever played each other.
And for 125th meeting, that's pretty cool.
It's been going on for that long. They've only played in the regular season. No way.
And that's crazy.
Yeah. I know Montana State, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure they're 12-10 against Montana since 2002. I think 2002.
That's the stat that I had last year.
Yeah. But I know Montana leads the all-time matchup by a pretty heavy margin. I'm pretty sure it's over 30 games. They were 75-44 or 74-44. So
they had a 16-game winning streak, I think, dating back from the early 2000s, going back to the mid 80s. I'm pretty sure too.
So yeah, so I mean, again, probably in for a good one. Montana State beat them last time 31-28. So obviously I think we're gonna be in for another good one again. We'll jump into some college, some big boy college games going up in a level here. We'll start it off with 9-8 Bama at Oklahoma. Oklahoma getting a home game. Oklahoma is the favorite, not by a lot, -1.5, total 41.5. Mateer looks like he's good to go. Ty Simpson, I know he was actually a little banged up, but it looks like he's going to be good to go. Really looking forward to this one. Again, I think Bama coming off a 28-7 loss. It's not going to get much worse than how they played offensively against Georgia in that one. They need a big bounce back week against Oklahoma. Oklahoma's still really good defensively, very solid defensively. The 41.5 is obviously really low, but I could definitely see this being like a 23-20. 23-17 type of game. I don't know. It's hard to bet against Bama, dude. That's the number one thing. Like last couple weeks, obviously I took Georgia pretty heavy. I did like the spread against Bama when they played, and that turned out to be very good for me. But overall, it is collectively so hard to bet against Bama. But DeBoer does have his number taken by this team over on the other side. So I don't know, man. It's definitely a flip of the coin. I don't have a coin on me, otherwise I would just flip one. But I gotta go maybe Bama. I think I'm gonna go Bama on it. I'm not gonna touch the over under, but I do like Bama as a dog.
Yeah. Again, hard to beat a team twice, but Brett Venables has had DeBoer's number for the last 2 years now, both home and on the road. My thing is, if you look at the last time they played, I think it was 23-21 Oklahoma, right? And they were +3 turnovers. They had a pick 6. Ty Simpson hadn't really turned the ball over up until that game. He was awful, and they still only lost by 2. I think if he can just protect the ball a little bit more, I think Jam Miller, he's off the injury report. He should be playing. Bama had -3 rushing yards against Georgia in the SEC championship game. If they can play any better than that, I think they're going to win this game. I think they win pretty handily. I think it's kind of a rat line. Personally, I'm rooting for OU. I really like John Mateer. I want to see him back to his mid-September form before he had the hand injury. But I think Bama will find a way to respond, win on the road, and then set up for a huge game against Indiana in the Rose Bowl.
I'm gonna go with the South Dakota kid. I'll go with Kalen DeBoer. Hopefully, Alabama can limit their turnovers from last game. I think that'll be the key. I think that's what kind of shot themselves in the foot last time they played Oklahoma. So, limiting the turnovers. And I know they're going to emphasize that. So I'm gonna go with Alabama, Kalen DeBoer.
Clean sweep. I guess Oklahoma's a lock now since we all took Bama. Although Logan didn't seem too comfortable with that, so I guess we'll see.
Yeah. I'm not a DeBoer guy, so that's the other hesitation piece of it. So
it's crazy though. No one's talking about Oklahoma in this. I know it's a coin flip game, and everyone thinks Bama's going to do it, or so it seems at least.
I mean, I think Mateer's a better quarterback than Ty Simpson in my opinion.
I think when they're both healthy, I could see that. I think after the hand injury, he just hasn't been the same since. But I agree. If you had them both play in September, I think Mateer's a better quarterback. But why can't Oklahoma go on a run? Why can't they, beat Bama, then beat Indiana? All of a sudden, they're in the semifinal game. Like, I feel like they're the one team that definitely has a shot. They're not Tulane or JMU, that no one's talking about having a legit chance to win. And they've got a senior, or I guess a very experienced quarterback and a nasty defense. And that's all you can hope for.
Quite frankly, I forgot they got in when they first came out with the 12. I didn't even look at them in there. I was like, how do these teams get in there? And I just kind of glazed over Oklahoma being in it.
They weren't a threat to fall out pending other teams losing. They were pretty much a lock once they beat LSU, which that was a scary game. And again, I don't have faith that their offense is going to score more than 20 points, but their defense is so good, they might not have to.
Yeah. Next, I'm never going to want to take this game, but what an absolute joke of a matchup. Oregon gets a home game against a inferior opponent, who realistically has no business being in this college football playoff. the line at 20.5, everybody's like, yeah, that's a huge number because it's a playoff game. Liam goes, how are tickets only $80 for a home game in Eugene in the college football playoff? And I said, you know why? Because they're playing James Madison.
Well,
No
they're
one
all saving.
cares,
They're all
man.
saving up to
No
fly to
one
Miami for
cares.
next week.
I was gonna say, or they're gonna go down to the beach and go to South Beach and go have some fun and go play a real opponent that they'll lose to. So anyway, all that being said, Oregon's gonna absolutely smack this team in the mouth. We've had a monsoon hurricane going on here with flooding and everything else in the Northwest. It's gonna break up. The clouds are gonna part. The seas are gonna part way, and there's not gonna be any sort of rain in Eugene on Saturday. And I think Oregon just absolutely runs away with this one. I do like the over 47.5. I think if JMU maybe gets lucky with some crapshoot, garbage time touchdown or something like that. But I do like Oregon to obliterate this team by probably 28 plus on Saturday.
Yeah, I agree. I'll take the over as well. I think Oregon can win handily. We might see rested starters by the second half. Again, I hope it's competitive for the sake of competition and for the sake of really not liking Oregon. But I just don't see it. But
they're also getting healthy at the right time.
Dude,
they're getting a couple receivers back.
Yes.
They're getting Evan Stewart back, DeCorian Moore. So this might be just kind of a feel good, get him on the field, maybe get him a couple routes, get him a couple catches and get him out of there, and get him warmed up for next week. But yeah.
Now I'll say this, if it's within, I guess I'll ask you or both of y'all, when would you feel nervous as an Oregon fan in this game? If it's halftime and it's a 7-point game or less, what would make you feel like, oh man, we're in the playoffs and anything can happen?
They've always been a second half type of team, at least from what I've seen my whole life. I mean, they've always been the type of team that makes pretty good adjustments and figures it out in the second half if they're not already getting maybe handled like last year against Ohio State. They were just getting handled from the get-go. So as long as that's not happening, which they're not going to get handled by this team, the physicality is going to be a whole different match and level for James Madison. But again, I mean, you never know. Teams like Wazoo put up a great fight against Ole Miss, who's a playoff team. And
Virginia,
Wazoo played James Madison. And it was a close game. So, I mean, who knows, man? I mean, maybe they do come out and they prove everybody wrong. Maybe they just have this really good run game and they can eat clock and keep it close for the sake of they're just eating clock like the old Stanford days. They're not better talented-wise across the board, but hey, if you can eat clock and get a couple first downs here and there and keep the defense off balance, who knows? But that being said, I still don't believe it until I see it. I think, again, if you're going to be uncomfortable as an Oregon fan, being uncomfortable would be losing at halftime. You're down at halftime, or you're just kicked a field goal right before half to take the lead type of thing. I would feel a little uncomfortable about that. But besides that, I think even if you're up 7 at half and you look like you've had it handled, like you're up, maybe 14-7 at half or something, and the offense just hasn't clicked yet, I mean, I would feel okay about that. But I don't think the offense is going to have a problem clicking. So
yeah, I mean, I agree. I'd say as an Oregon fan, I'd be uncomfortable with it 10 points or less if you're leading at half. Just not really for like the concern of like losing the game, but I think it's more of like heading into next week. Like, are we playing well? Kind of thing. Like, are we like if you squeak out a win set by 17 points, are you happy with that over James Madison? Not really. Texas Tech is a lot better, right? They play Texas Tech next. It would be a lot better team. I do think I don't think it's going to be like that. I think Oregon's just out athlete them. Like you said, there's levels to this. There's the physicality, and I don't think Oregon necessarily has to play a great game to beat them by 28 points. So
no,
I think it's just different athlete. It's just a completely different ball game. So
yeah. It reminds what comes to mind a lot is that Oregon Liberty game a couple years ago. I forget. I don't know if it was a playoff game or if it was
Fiesta Bowl, right? Wasn't
just
it
a Fiesta? Yeah,
just Fiesta Bowl, but Liberty was ranked like 24th or something. Yeah,
right. Like completely outmatched, and Oregon just wiped the floor with them just purely from a talent-based standpoint. So I think this will happen again. I hope it doesn't. But I can easily see Oregon covering this by the first half. And
Just came off a plane with a bunch of really hopeful James Madison fans. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a tough one on Saturday for him. Hopefully, it doesn't rain on him and make it worse.
Maybe they'll get a free beer in the stadium or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Duck fans aren't that nice, dude. They don't buy beer for people.
They don't buy beer for people.
You got to go to Corvallis for that. Corvallis, they got food and beer for you all day long.
Maybe
it's actually funny. I was talking to a Duck fan last night. We had a company party for who I work for. We had this company outing, so I show up. This guy, I'm gonna shout out AJ on here. AJ's a great dude. Diehard Duck fan. He's got season tickets. He'll be down there this weekend. Yeah, he's a great dude. But we're talking, and he's like, man, I'm going down South Beach. We're winning this weekend. I'm flying down there. I'm looking forward to watching this beat, and we're gonna beat Tech. He's like, Tech ain't seen nothing like us all year. And he seemed so confident that it kind of made me second guess, like, man, have I been watching the same Duck team that he has all year? Like, I don't know. But again, he was saying, like, yeah, Tech's got a defense, but they ain't never seen anybody like us offensively, which I wouldn't necessarily deny that. I would say
no.
No, offensively, no, which I would agree, but Tech's defense is very, very, very good. Whether they've played anybody like Oregon's offense or not, they're extremely good. And let's be fair here. This is not the typical Oregon offense that we're used to of the years past of putting up 48 points every week and running people out of the building. Like, this is not the same offense. Mm-hmm. Dante Moore I've said this weeks and weeks and weeks, he makes really, really good throws, looks like a top 3 quarterback, and then he just looks awful and just looks so inconsistent. So it's like, what Dante Moore are we going to get? Are we going to get the Dante Moore that shows up for the whole game? Or are we going to get the Dante Moore that finally saw somebody good in Indiana and look like a bottom tier quarterback, quite frankly? So
I think Tech's defense is just as good as Indiana, in my opinion.
Exactly.
So it's going to be
totally
awesome game.
totally agree with that. I would totally agree with that.
One thing about Tech, and I know we haven't even done their preview because that's a next week thing, but they've only given up over 20 points one time this year, and it was their one loss against Arizona State. They've held teams to 20 or under they played a top 10 BYU twice, smoked them, right? They beat Utah on the road. Or no, they did play the Beavs. That was
like the worst and we were like the worst offensive team in the country. So
Oregon State put up 14, which is better than
Utah. Better than Utah. Better than Houston.
I don't even think we put up 14 against Tulsa.
You put up 14 against Tech, and that's better than 6 Big 12 games, including BYU twice. So good job, Beavs. OSU, our hats are off to you.
I'm not taking my OSU hat off.
What's up, Cody?
Oregon State, the second best team in the Big 12 then?
Oregon State might run the Big 12 if they show up next year.
We'll put them at second in the standings. We'll leave them there.
That's fine. Send them to Arlington.
Holy cow.
The Tech Oregon's going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
I'm looking forward to that. I mean, I'm not going to get too ahead of myself, but I am going to get too ahead of myself. That'll be a great matchup.
This is the one game you're pretty much safe to.
Up next, Liam, we got your boys. 10 seeded Miami at number 7, Texas A&M at Kyle Field. Aggies with a home playoff game. Crazy atmosphere that's going to be. Nick Saban, I promise you they don't feed stadium noise into that place. I've been there, man. I was
Against
there
Miami
actually for
too.
This same exact matchup. College game day. Miami was ranked in the top 15. This is going to be electric. Obviously, this is who I'm pulling for pretty much the whole playoff. I'm rooting for A&M because of you. I'm rooting for Georgia because of the fan back east. But yeah, I like A&M minus the 3. That little smack in the face against Texas, I think, is going to wake things up for him. Time to make adjustments. I like what Elko does there. He's going to have the boys ready. The defense is going to be ready. Carson's back. He's going to have a hell of a time. So yeah, give me the Ags minus 3. I like Tamu, and total, I'm definitely going to take the under on this. Carson Beck's going to throw 2 picks. A&M's going to be able to run the football like they usually do. Marcel Reed, big comeback game here. Give me the over on the 48.5. Give me A&M minus 3.
First of all, absolutely love that pick.
Woo!
Second of all, you talked about them running the ball a good amount, and we'll see if Le'Veon Moss is back. He's questionable right now on the injury report. He's missed the last 6 or 7 games. I think if they can get him back, he's worth a point or two in the spread, and I'd feel a lot more comfortable with A&M picking them to win with him playing, even if he's on a pitch count, right? 10, 12 snaps, 5, 6, 7 carries total. I'd be great with that. So we'll see if he can get some time in. Outside of that, battle the trenches, right? I don't think Miami's seen a pass rush like A&M, and Miami's defensive line get after the ball too. So it's up to the quarterbacks. Hold on to the ball, punt if you have to. It's okay. It's going to be a low-scoring game, I think. And whichever offensive line comes out on top and the quarterback that makes the least amount of mistakes is going to win this game. I'll take A&M -3, just win. I don't care how they do it. I saw Carson Beck was talking some smack, I think, earlier about something about 110,000 people can't play the game for him. So I'm sure that'll get the 12th man fired up a little bit.
Here we go again. Yeah. The old Josh
because Josh Rosen didn't learn. Yeah, Garrett Nussmeier didn't learn. Brady Cook didn't learn.
Yeah, how many times do we have to go through this, guys? Come on now. Like this is not your normal place to go play football.
You're welcome to talk after the game. If you come in and win, you'd be like, "Oh, wasn't that loud? Awesome, great." But how many times do you have to talk before? And yeah.
It's amazing to me that he was dating a Cavender twin. It's just amazing to me because he's one of the ugliest human beings I've ever seen. He literally looks like Sloth, dude. He looks like Sloth.
That's funny.
Like, come on. There's just no way. There's no way this guy's going into Kyle Field and doing what he does. He's gonna have his stupid eye black on, and he's gonna drive his Ferrari and his Lambo to the game or whatever he does, and he's in for a rude awakening because you were saying the D line's gonna get after it, and he's gonna have a rough time. I'm guaranteed there's 2 turnovers by Carson Beck, whether it's 2 picks or a fumble and a pick. 2 turnovers by Carson Beck, guaranteed. Mark it.
We'll mark it down. Come back to that next week. A&M does have to contain Malachi Toney, though. He's the ACC newcomer of the year, and he's got just over right at 1,000 yards receiving this year. So he's been a problem for the ACC all season, and I think if we can contain him, we'll be all right.
The ACC sucks, so.
No. Duke
SEC
says
beef,
hello.
man. SEC beef at home. That's gonna be hard. I'm riding with the Ags on that one.
Yeah, we like that.
Love it.
We like a good old 3 for 3 on the panel. We like that.
Am I even more nervous now? Yes.
Yes.
But that also means James Madison. James Madison's got a shot then.
Oh my God, we're 3 for 3 all the way across, huh? Do I dare take Tulane?
So, okay. Listen, I was already talking about this before. This is a team that has absolutely no business being in this shit at all. We already went through this with a -14.5 the first time they played. It wasn't remotely close. Again, the committee thought this would just be the most genius, awesome idea for everybody to watch a rematch versus Tulane and Ole Miss at Ole Miss. Now the spread's even larger. I don't understand what we're doing here. Give me Ole Miss plus -1,000. Give me Ole Miss -1,000. Yeah, Ole Miss is gonna blow this team out of the water again. We want to talk about SEC beef. The SEC beef is real with this team. This is a team. I already took Tech to win the whole thing with the Natty, and we can go over a little playoff bracket. But I already took them to win the whole thing. If there was a team, secondly, that I just truly believe, it's Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a team that I really think offensively has it. They're capable. They have 2 different quarterbacks who have been actually really, really solid. They got a great run game. They got some big-time receivers. The defense has been there all year long. I do like Ole Miss as a dark horse in this thing, as not necessarily a team I'm rooting for, but just a dark horse that I think that could really make some noise, and they can give anybody problems. There's not a single team in this whole bracket that I don't think Tech and Ole Miss are going to give the most problems to collectively as a unit. So give me Ole Miss big time in this matchup. Yeah, give me the Rebs, man.
Do you think the Lane Kiffin drama and situation affects this at all?
No. Maybe I don't even think it affects them later on. I think especially with the draw that they're getting now. if they were playing A&M or if they were playing Oregon,
they'll play Georgia. They'll play Georgia next if they win this game. By the way,
and I think that might be one of the best games of the year next week with that matchup. But
the first one already was.
Yeah, and I do think truly that I don't see Tulane even sniffing this game. Doesn't matter the Lane Kiffin noise. I think it's honestly pissed them off more that now we're gonna make a statement and we're gonna come out and really show people like we don't need that guy. Like whatever, the guy's a freaking team hopping homie anyway, so we don't need him. You know, we'll figure it out. LSU ain't in this thing, so we'll figure it out. Yeah, I do like Ole Miss big time. I don't know what you guys got for spread, but that's what I got.
I'm trying to think of a way that Tulane keeps us close. It was 45-10 the first time they played. It was Trinidad's first start. He's only got 3 picks all season.
The key thing you said was you're trying to think of something.
Right. I'm just I don't think there's a path for JMU at all. I think in the perfect world, the perfect situation, Tulane could keep it close. And if you can keep it close, you can find a way to win the game. Retzlaff played about as bad as you could, right? 5 for 19 in the game. Trinidad goes off, right? Kewan Lacey goes off.
19.
Well, so you got to think he's not going to be that bad this game. Maybe they close the distance
sure?
a little bit. No, I'm not sure. But maybe you can take some lessons learned here and transfer them to the playoffs. But I think there is a way Tulane can win. I don't think it's going to happen. I think 17.5 might be too much given the Lane drama, given the possibly looking ahead to Georgia, and Tulane being more talented than JMU, just at a different level. I think I'll take Tulane, regrettably, to cover the 17.5, probably some sneaky backdoor, sad field goal with 3 seconds left kind of thing. But I'll take Tulane plus 17.5 with Ole Miss winning and setting up a massive one against Georgia.
No, I was on the plane with when I flew from Sioux Falls to Dallas. I was sitting next to a Division II like college football reporter. That's all he does, and he was going to the Division II national championship. It's Harding versus Ferris State.
That game, dude, whatever the over is, take it. It's going to be an absolute freaking circus. The game's going to be awesome.
Yes, we got that on the list here too.
He referred to Trinidad. I was just talking to him about
Ferris State,
like the past guys he's covered, and he referred to Trinidad as the Division II Lamar Jackson. So I'm gonna take I'll take Trinidad and the Ole Miss Rebels. They're gonna have to like relook at this college football playoff structure to get these group of 5 schools. Like it's just these aren't good matchups. Like for them to have played each other already and for it to have been a 42-17 game, was that what it was?
I think it was 45-10.
45-10. Like you said, Retzlaff played awful. I could see.
You can't get any worse than 5 of 19, but it's just when you play a team that is they outmatch you at every position. They're so much more talented than you, pretty much at every position. Your offense becomes so vanilla. And the last time I watched this game, because everybody was super hyped about Tulane playing Ole Miss, so I tuned in and I was like, okay, Retzlaff, here we go. I'm kind of interested. And then a brand new quarterback for them with Trinidad starting. And I tune in and nothing changed for Ole Miss. It seemed like their offense got more dynamic. And it seemed like Tulane went from a pretty cool, fun, dynamic offensive story to Retzlaff literally looks like he can only throw a screen pass, and that's the only option they have. And when you look like that one time, you're probably going to look like that again. At least from my past experience of watching football, like there's not a whole lot of times where you're that outmatched to where the next time you play, things are different. Like they've already seen you once and they've probably seen everything that you could throw at them. And then your offense went to straight vanilla and it was like, okay, well, this is all you got. 5 and 19. This is all you guys have. That's why I think Ole Miss is there's such a heavy favorite in this.
And I could see like talent wise, like I think Tulane is equal or if not better than Washington State. Would you agree? Than Washington State?
Oh, for sure.
Like if you catch
any given day, Wazoo could do it, and obviously they almost beat Ole Miss again.
Yeah,
but yes.
If you catch Ole Miss or really any of these teams, like I don't see it. I see it more with Tulane than I do with James Madison. But if you catch Ole Miss having one of those games, you got a shot, right? I don't. Yeah, I think it. Yeah, it just depends. It's gonna be who shows up that day. For like, if Ole Miss shows up, they're gonna roll. But yeah, again, I do think like it's possible. It's for sure. It's way more likely, in my opinion, than the James Madison game for it to be a closer one. But I do think Tulane's got a shot. And again, you out athlete them, SEC guys. Well, we saw it earlier this year with Wazoo and Ole Miss. It's like they don't show up. It's going to be a close game. So hopefully Retzloff can not throw for 5 for 19 and throw for a little bit better than that.
Well, like you were saying, if mentally, if they're just not there and not locked into the game, anything can happen. And that's where I'm trying to flip back to the whole Lane Kiffin thing. If he leaves, I know Summerall's leaving too, I guess, for Tulane, but he's sticking it out through the playoffs. Like, does that mentally affect Ole Miss at all going into this game, especially compounding that with the fact they've already beat them by 35 earlier in the year? Do you think they take a little foot off the gas and Tulane has a bag of tricks and they come out firing? I don't know. It could be same old, but I'll take a chance and a gamble and say it's a little bit closer than the last time and Tulane covers.
I probably see it. Yeah, I agree. I think it's probably going to be. I still think they're going to put up 40 points, but I think Tulane probably puts up more points than 10. I think they probably put up 21 or something. I could see it totally being like a 42-21 game or something like that.
Yeah.
No.
You need a few more from Tulane then, but yeah. You just need under 18.
There you go.
And we'll just move on from that. Winner of Tulane Ole Miss will play number 3 Georgia in the Sugar Bowl, which I think is a great location for this potential matchup. Just because I think fans will be half and half for that, coming from Georgia.
Oh, that'll be a hot ticket.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. Again, this could be maybe game of the year potentially. Georgia's riding though, man, and I got to ride with the dogs if this happens. So we're going to kind of give a little playoff bracket prediction here from all of us, and I got to go Georgia on this. Obviously, don't know what the spread would be yet, but I do like the dogs to substantially win this. Maybe not heavily, but I do like them with a solid victory here. Give me the dogs if it's Ole Miss against them.
Yeah, I'll take Georgia as well. Although I would like to possibly change my pick pending how Ole Miss looks. If Ole Miss looks the exact same as they did against Tulane the first time, I might have to flip my pick. But for now, if we're just picking whole bracket, I'll take Georgia.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Georgia too. I think it does. I think you're right, Liam. I think it depends, like mentally for the team. I think it depends on how they play against Tulane. Like if they play like they did against Wazoo and beat them by 10 points, they're going into Georgia. I don't know. I think Georgia might roll, but it'll be if they get some confidence, they can make that a game.
Yeah. Do they treat this Tulane game like an exhibition and let's put up 50? Or are we going to treat this like it's a lot tougher than it should be? And that's like you said, that's kind of your real question.
It's all the mentality.
I need to see if Lane Kiffin's tweeting through this game though, because he's going to be watching. I need to see his reaction because he's rooting for him. He gets $1 million from Ole Miss, or I guess from LSU, if Ole Miss wins the Natty. So you know he's going to be rooting for his boys back in Oxford.
That's a good day.
Yeah, that's a good payout. We got winner of Miami, Texas A&M playing number 2 Ohio State in Jerry's World. Home game for the Ags, man. Whatever the spread is, Ohio State. So I think, Liam, we wanted to talk about maybe future spreads, like if they were to happen. Which I don't know if you have those pulled up. I wanted to try to guess these if it was possible. So I wanted to go if Ole Miss Georgia. If that actually was the matchup, and we're gonna look ahead, I think we should all guess. Liam's already got it in front of him.
I've got the number. Yep.
Me and Cody can guess here of what you think the spread would be, Cody. If it was, I'll put this back up there. Ole Miss and Georgia, what the spread would be. I'm gonna have to go with Georgia minus 2.5.
2.5.
Okay.
Georgia, Ole Miss. I think I'm gonna go. Again, I think it depends how they play, but I'll go. I think Georgia -4. I'll go 4.5, 3.5. I'll go 3.5, -3.5. That's
3.5. Okay, both
Yeah.
of y'all are off. No faith in Ole Miss. It's Georgia -5.5 right now.
5.5.
To
Oh,
your
I should have
local
gone with my
sportsbook.
gut. My gut was
Is that-
6.5. I would have been
Yeah.
closer.
Ooh,
Okay.
pretty close.
Okay.
They do not have a line for Tulane, in case y'all were wondering.
That was my gut.
No,
Yeah.
no Tulane, no James Madison.
Okay.
I would love to see them. Just hypothetically, what would that be?
Hypothetically.
Probably in the mid-20s.
So I could see why it'd be 5.5 though. I could see that like it because
wasn't that
especially if Ole Miss plays really well and they get that 5.5 of like a 24-20 type game. Georgia Ole Miss, like I could definitely see that.
They lost 43-35 earlier this year, but it was a close game all the way. Georgia ended up scoring 17. 17 in the
That's a
fourth.
track meet.
Yeah, Georgia scored 17 in the fourth to come back and win 43-35. So 5.5 might be much. I would probably take Ole Miss in that.
Yeah, 5.5 spread. I think I would take Ole Miss. That's why I was thinking like a 2.5, like a field goal kind
I
of
bet
game.
that line comes down if and when this matchup happens.
So this one, I would take A&M obviously to beat Miami. So A&M playing against Ohio State. Ohio State, I'm thinking is going to be the favorite.
I got the line for that. Yeah,
I do like. I don't like, but I think it's a close game, and I think A&M would actually play up to standard. I'm not saying they do win this game. I think Ohio State's very, very good collectively, but I do think they got some things missing, man. I don't think their offense is as good as everybody thinks they are. Obviously, Indiana's a really, really good football team with maybe the best defense in the country. But I do think A&M would make this close. I think they're actually very similar kind of teams, Ohio State and A&M are. But I do think the spread would probably be like Ohio State -7.5 for like a tutty extra point type of game.
You go 6.5 or 7.5? What do you say?
I'm
Logan,
going
you said
7.5.
or 7.5.
Yeah.
I'll probably go 3.5. I'll stick to 3.5. I think it's going to be. Yeah, I think if A&M wins, because that'll be a big momentum game. They win that, they're going to be juiced. I think it'll be closer than what people think.
Cody's got way more faith in the Ags than the books do. It is Logan. You're setting the line. It's 7.5 for Ohio State. It's a great call.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
We like that.
I'll say before we go to the next one, you were saying it's going to be a home game for the Ags. So last year, Cody and I were actually at the Texas-Ohio State semifinal game in
Round 2?
Arlington. Yeah, I'm down. I'm so down. But we were at that game in Arlington, and you would think it'd be a home game for Texas. And there was definitely more Texas fans than Ohio State fans. But, dude, those Buckeyes travel. It was probably 65-35, if I had to guess. Like it was not a significant home field for the Horns.
But the thing about
it would not be again this time.
A&M is so central to like only really Texas type people, right? Ohio State's one of those name brand teams where it's like Laker fans, right? Laker fans are everywhere. Dodger fans
same with Texas fans too,
right? Yeah, Texas fans are everywhere. Like Yankee fans, they're freaking everywhere. It's not just in New York. Like
it's a national brand. Yeah.
Yes, and Ohio State is definitely one of those teams to where like, I'm out on the West Coast and you see somebody and they're like, "Hey, go Buckeyes." And I'm like, "What?" Like, you live in Washington. Like, how are you an Ohio State guy? So yeah, no, I do see that as definitely a thing where it could be like a 50-50, but I think A&M, I mean, it's basically a home game for you. You got to show up and show out for that. But the 7.5, I was good with that one. So, but I do think A&M keeps that close. That's a tutty game. I'm taking A&M plus 7.5.
If it's 7.5, I'll take the Ags to cover. I got Ohio State winning though.
This one.
I'm sorry, I misread that. I read just James Madison.
I was like, I'm taking the Dukes.
Sorry, yeah, I'm foreshadowing what's going to happen on Saturday, guys. I didn't tell you that I can see the future.
I don't have a James Madison Texas Tech line, but if James Madison beats Oregon outright, I will bet JMU money line against Tech.
I mean, you might as well. It's gonna be like a
might as well
3,000.
If they can beat Oregon, they'll beat Tech.
Could. Obviously, winner of this game, we all took Oregon. playing against Tech in the Orange Bowl.
Mhm.
This is tough. I took Tech to win the Natty, so for me, taking Tech here, I do like Tech minus 2.5.
Fuck Oregon. Yeah, it's like minus 6.5. Yeah, right.
Is not. It is actually Oregon minus 1.5.
Ah, that was off.
That's a coin flip game.
Tech.
Oregon's favored.
Oregon is favored. Oh yeah,
Ooh.
Oregon is favored minus 1.5.
Get the hell out of here. That's wrong.
I agree.
I
No,
agree.
I mean I'm taking Tech for whatever the spread is. I don't care what it is.
I agree that I'll take Tech. I'll take the under, which right now is set at 51. And
Under.
you also got to think too, body clock. Like I'm sure Oregon will get there a couple days early, but that is a Eugene to Miami flight, which unless you're playing up in Seattle or Alaska or Hawaii, you're not going to be flying much further to go to any game anywhere. So I mean, Lubbock to Miami isn't a cakewalk either, but it is significantly closer than Eugene.
Yeah, and the weather, like obviously Miami is different than Lubbock, but again, it's way more similar than it is freaking Oregon versus monsoon.
Oh,
yeah,
no doubt, yeah. That's going to be great. And the potential for a uniform matchup for that game too is A+.
Yeah.
Give me the Raiders. Give me the Raiders.
Right.
Gotta ride with that. So winner Bama, Oklahoma. Still I'm still on the fence about this. In the Rose Bowl, Bama in the Rose Bowl would be incredible.
Well, they played Michigan a couple years ago.
I know.
Nick Saban's last game. Yeah.
And that was one of the best Rose Bowls.
One of the best playoff
ever.
games we've had.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean I do either of these teams, straight up, the spread is gonna be Indiana minus 6.5.
Okay, I have spreads for both. Okay, you think minus 6.5 for both? Okay, Cody.
I think it's probably very similar for either of these teams, whoever comes out of this.
Yeah, I mean, it was like either this or the Miami A&M game is like the two closest.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably stick with that, probably 6.5, 5.5.
Okay.
I don't know.
Wow. Well, it looks like Indiana's rooting hard for Oklahoma here. It is 6.5 for Bama, so nice call for both of y'all. For Oklahoma, it's 9.5.
9.5.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. I would take Oklahoma.
9.5.
Shoot, if Oklahoma blows out Bama and beats them for a third time, I might take them straight up against Indiana. Again, it's one of those recency bias things, but I could absolutely see that happening.
We're riding with basketball schools this year, man. This is what we're doing. We're going with basketball.
I kind of want Indiana.
Schools.
If it's not A&M, I want Indiana to win it all.
Yeah.
It'd be so awesome. It'd be so awesome.
I like me some Signetti, man. I like me, and I want to shout this out while we're on this topic of Indiana. This is no slight. This is no slight to Fernando Mendoza. He is a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong when I say this. The guy is a solid quarterback. He is the worst Heisman to ever win the Heisman Trophy.
Worst how?
Talent-wise. Most excitement. He's the worst non-exciting player to ever win the Heisman Trophy. And
I think he did get a lot of like the boost for his Heisman. The votes he got was because he was winning with Indiana.
Yes.
I think like if he did that with Alabama, I don't think his hype. I mean, he still might win it, but I don't know. I do agree. I do think his winning with Indiana was a big factor in his.
I think what hurt the field as a whole is there was no Heisman moment for almost any player this year. Because Pavia made a run late, but still had 2 losses, and now there's a 12-team playoff. You're kind of out of the Heisman race to win if you don't make the playoff, regardless of how good of a season you've had. I think like Trinidad Chambliss would have absolutely been in it from the start if he started week 1. Obviously, that was the whole injury deal, and then they just rode the hot hand all the way through. And then like Moore from Oregon, you lose your one big game you play, you're out. So there was no. I see it as a reward for one being an incredible quarterback. But two, going undefeated, winning the Big Ten for the first time in 60 plus years, and being undefeated, being number one going into the playoff. I think it's just an overall reward for that. I see what you're saying by, he's definitely not the most talented Heisman of all time. At the same time, I think he deserved it for this year. I don't think you'd find a better guy this season that could have won it.
Well, and a lot of people were like, hey, like Love should have won it. Which I'm not gonna deny that, because he probably is the most exciting player in
He should have been in New York.
Football.
Yeah. I think he was
football.
Actually.
He was. But like as a running back, he's the best running back in football. He reminds me of Saquon Barkley watching him.
Mhm.
Obviously the stats are not as good as what like Saquon did. But then you look at a guy like Johnny Manziel, who won first freshman ever, one of my favorite players ever, throwing for almost 4,000 yards and rushing for more yards than Love ran for this year as a quarterback. And he wins the Heisman. That's what I'm talking. Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. And how does Ashton Genty not win that last year? Like, and that was my argument, was for all the people that were like, how does Jeremiah Love not win? And it's like, if Jeremiah Love would have won the Heisman this year, then that is such a slight to Genty last year. Like Genty, there was no reason why Genty should have won it last year.
Especially when you look at strength of schedule, like Notre Dame played the two, top 10 teams in A&M and Miami, lost both. Great games, but lost both. And then they play about as easy of a schedule as Boise State did last year. So if you're going to punish Genty for a schedule like that, and again, Genty lost his one big game, or I guess two. You got the Penn State game and then Oregon week 2. If you're going to punish him for that, then you have to punish Love the same way. Which it's really unfortunate, because he is a great player and a great running back. But no, I totally see what you're saying. It was just a weak field, and hopefully next year we'll have some actual Heisman moments, even from teams that maybe just missed out on the playoffs or aren't going to win the whole thing, but are still pretty good.
So we all took pretty much the same people here on all these picks for this round. So you have Texas Tech, Oregon a matchup. You have Indiana with, we were both kind of flirting on the Oklahoma Bama side of things.
Probably Bama.
I think we're all kind of thinking Bama. So I mean, you'll have Indiana, Bama, Texas Tech, Oregon. You'll have Georgia, Ole Miss, and Ohio State A&M. So moving on, like if we really wanted to do it there, I think as a collective unit, I don't want to take Ohio State over A&M. I don't want to do that. But realistically, as a collective unit, I do like Ohio State in that game. And
I'll take the Buckeyes. They're gonna, yeah.
It's tough for me not to. But I like Georgia. I like Georgia, Ohio State in the semis. And I like Texas Tech, Indiana in the semis on the other side. And again, I took Tech to win it all at the very beginning of the year. I'm going to take them again.
So you have Ohio State, Tech in your natty?
No. I'm taking Georgia. I'm taking Georgia.
Okay.
I'm taking Georgia and Texas Tech in the natty is what my natty would be.
That'd be really fun.
That would be red on black, man.
I'll rip through mine real quick. So I got, let's see, the Bama, Indiana. I'll take Indiana. So I got Texas Tech, Oregon. I'll take Tech to win that. So I'm on one side of the bracket, Indiana versus Tech. I also have Texas Tech making it to the national championship. Oregon has to be set up for disappointment here if Oregon beats them in Miami, but I guess we'll see. And then the other side, I'm going to take Ohio State over A&M. I reserve the right to change that at any given point. And then I will take Georgia over Ole Miss, and I'll take Ohio State over Georgia. We got a Texas Tech, Ohio State national championship with Ohio State winning it all.
I think I'm gonna go Big Ten championship rematch. I'll go Indiana over Alabama or Oklahoma. I think they do beat Texas Tech with that defense. Obviously, Texas Tech's defense is amazing as well, but I got Indiana. I got the Hoosiers on the one side, and then I'm gonna take the Buckeyes over everybody in the back end. So I think they win. They beat A&M, and I think they do beat Georgia to make it to the championship. Big Ten rematch. Hopefully, Ohio State's kicker can make a chip shot field goal this time.
Yeah, Cody, did that Big Ten championship really feel like the Michigan game from last year, with better talent on Indiana's side, but a 13-10 loss late in the year going into the playoffs just feels like they're set up for an explosion through the rest of the playoffs, just
Yeah.
like last year.
Yeah, it just kind of fueled them. I think it was kind of interesting too. It's like we were talking about FCS earlier. It's kind of, I think Montana took that mentality when they lost the Brawl of the Wild, like right after, and like Bobby Howe like at a press conference, like we got to take the Ohio State approach, like we got to let this fuel us, and then we got to meet them back in the playoffs. So I do, yeah, I think they're primed and ready to go after losing that. I mean. Crazy how thin of a margin it is to win at that level. To miss a field goal, a chip shot field goal like that is just ridiculous. Imagine how many times that kid has practiced that kick, thousands and thousands of times, and it's just how thin the margins are, man.
You can't practice that pressure though.
Yeah,
like there's only so much you can do to replicate that.
Yeah, I know. Can't practice the pressure. Absolutely, you're right about that. But I'm going, like I said, I'm going Big Ten rematch. I'm going Indiana versus Ohio State.
SEC fans will not be happy with that pick, Cody, but I think we will. That'll be really fun. That'll be fun. I would watch that again for sure.
That'd be a good one to tune into for sure. I think the semifinal games are really shaping up to be like some really good games. Like
I agree. I agree. Like the first round's unfortunate. Except, but two games are going to be great, or potential to be great. The other two, not so much. But
all these
games,
all these quarters, dude, the quarters are going to be freaking phenomenal.
Yeah, I think that Alabama would be a better game to watch. I think you have a higher probability of Indiana winning by more with Oklahoma, like we said with the spread.
That's what Vegas is saying. Yeah,
Oregon, Texas Tech. That'll be a great game.
Yep.
Hopefully
Ole
not.
Miss, Georgia.
Hopefully Tech just walks in there and just obliterates them.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Defense can show up. They're going to beat Georgia.
Quarters will be good too. I like the quarter games as well, but I think the semifinals are going to be awesome. Based off the team, like if you get Alabama, Indiana one side, or Texas Tech, Oregon, like that semifinal game between those four teams would be awesome. And then I think Georgia's going to win. And then A&M or Ohio State, I think would be a good game as well. So
here's I got a quick question before we kind of wrap this thing up. And this is something I wanted to shout this out for everybody that's still listening. Appreciate you still tuning in here late at night. I called it last week with the team scoring 17 points, Army Navy. I called that live on this pod. And it was a final score of 17-16. Not with the team I wanted, but I did put a bet on both those teams. Once was somebody to score 17, and it happened. So, it struck again. That's now 8 of the last 11 years that someone has scored.
Exactly. It's exactly 17, right?
Yes. Yeah. And the under hit again. So, it just
a great call.
That was a good day. I know the game was fantastic. Obviously, Army didn't win, which is disappointing, but the game itself was really, really good. This is kind of a foreshadowing future. Me and Liam should be there next year with our fathers. We should be at that game in New York at MetLife for Army Navy. Obviously, us four will all be rooting for Army. But super.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, super stoked, man. That's going to be a lot of fun. But my question for you guys was of the teams remaining. So like especially with the quarterfinals, we're all in agreement of the teams that could maybe win the quarters. Who do you think? And I know Fernando Mendoza is the Heisman winner, but realistically, if you had to choose one of these quarterbacks from the quarterfinals, who's the best quarterback available out of all those guys? If you were going to draft somebody in 3 weeks, who are you taking?
Are we talking draft? I'm an NFL GM taking somebody, or I'm starting a college football team.
You have the number 1 pick in the draft. You need a quarterback so desperately, and your only options are Texas Tech with I don't know why I'm blanking on that guy's name right
now.
Baron Morton, thank you. I was gonna say Moore, but that's Dante Moore. So you have Dante Moore of Oregon, you have Morton of Tech, you got Mendoza in Indiana, you have Ty Simpson, obviously freshman, and you have Mateer with Oklahoma. You got Stockton, Gunnar Stockton of Georgia. You got Trinidad with Ole Miss, and you got Julian Sand or Marcel Reed.
I got my guy.
Who do you got? Who do you got? Quarterback,
Cody,
Liam Mavis. What do you got?
Cody, do you have
I
one?
got-
Or should I stall until?
No, I got one. I think
Okay.
out of those guys, so you're talking about Dante Moore. I'm not taking the Texas. I think I'll go John Mateer. I think I'll go John Mateer for mine.
Okay.
I think he's yeah.
When
he's got
healthy,
that.
when healthy, that's tough. That's tough not to
Yeah.
take Mateer.
Yeah, John
I
Mateer.
I really like that pick. So this one might surprise you. I'm going to take Ty Simpson. I think Ty Simpson is really, really good. I think they're struggling to run the ball a lot this year, and that's going to hinder his pass game. Everyone wants to knock the Florida State week 1. That was his first real start. He had one start last year against like South Florida. But I think Ty Simpson, if you can get a little bit of a run game going, he again, besides that Oklahoma game, and don't worry about Georgia, he does not turn the ball over. And that's half the battle right there. I like his skill set. I like what he can do. And if he can run the ball a little bit, I'd be happy to start an NFL franchise given that set of circumstances with him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think looking at it, Gunnar Stockton to me is the stats from high school are, I don't know if you guys have seen his stats in high school. He's the best player in Georgia history in that high school football. Just the stats are insane. I can't even think of them right now. They're actually so incredible. You guys should Google those.
He's got 13,652 career passing yards, 177 passing touchdowns. Look at this stat: 177 passing touchdowns and 17 interceptions.
That is ridiculous.
That is nuts.
So all that being said, I think he's actually maybe the worst quarterback of anybody available in that quarters. The reason being, like, just pure arm talent wise, like, I think the thing about, like, you talk about guys that take care of the ball, he takes care of the ball. And he's very mobile with his legs. He is a little bit on the undersized hand. I think he's pretty accurate within his little range that he's got. He just doesn't have a huge arm, so he's not able to really like extend down the field and push the ball down the field like everybody wants. And Georgia doesn't have the greatest receiving core in the world. They're okay. They're definitely better than last year, which was like their number one issue. They have nobody that can catch the ball. This year is definitely different. But I think surprisingly, I think he's like maybe the worst quarterback of the guys available. Just pure talent wise, we're talking. Not, consistency. He's very consistent. He doesn't turn the ball over, which is all great things. But I'm just going off like pure talent. If I had to draft somebody that's got the most upside, for me, I do really like Julian Sand. I think he is actually shown, and I like Trinidad a lot too. I think Trinidad is going to be really, really good, and he's going to be a name that people are going to be way more familiar with after these playoffs are done. They're going to be like, wow, where has this guy been? Obviously, a Ferris State product.
Ferris State winning championships.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, so I mean that's a really cool story, and I think he low key might be maybe my favorite pick out of everybody. But I like Sand, and the only reason being he's a true freshman. He's looked extremely poised all year long. He hasn't really got rattled, even in the games that he's had a couple turnovers, like the last two games. Indiana, he had a bad turnover early in the game. Against Michigan, he had that horrible turnover literally the first drive of the game that people are like, oh, God, here we go again. Michigan's going to beat this team, and they have no problem. And he just totally flipped the script in a snow game as a Cali kid and flipped the script on everybody and kind of showed like, hey, even as a true freshman, I'm not rattled. I'm here to make plays. We're going to be okay. I got some great receivers in my back pocket that I'm going to use to my expense. I do like Julian a lot. I think that's probably my pick. I've already talked about Dante Moore being slightly inconsistent. I think he's got the capability. It's just not always there.
He's shown so much improvement between his time at UCLA and now. Like if you're looking to analyze talent at the NFL level, I think you got to look at a guy like him. Like he's a 5-star kid, was not good at UCLA, didn't have coaching around him. He comes to Oregon surrounded by talent, does what he needs to do, progress significantly with still some more upside. I think he would do well to come back to Oregon next year. I'm praying he goes pro. But I think he would do well to go to Oregon because I think he could be a favorite to win the Heisman and really propel him to the next level given his growth. Also, your Gunnar Stockton comment, I think that's a little bit of a stray at him. I was at the Georgia-Tennessee game this year, and let me just say he looked like a Heisman contender for all 4 quarters and in overtime. I get what you're saying. I see a lot of Stetson Bennett in him. Obviously,
Yes.
tough,
Yes,
bring your lunch
exactly.
pail to work kind of guy.
Exactly.
First in, last out, all that good stuff. But I don't know if he's the worst of the group. But I get what you're saying.
It's just crazy his stats in high school.
That
they're
is
just
absurd.
they're so absurd.
And
And then
that's
you look
such
at him
a
at
high level of high school football too.
right.
Do you know
like,
what division he played at in Georgia, or what level?
I don't even know. Let's see. I just looked it up.
No, they got state championships going on. I was watching the Texas ones earlier today.
Stockton high school stats. Let's see what high school he went to. Robin County.
Those sound like Derrick Henry stats for quarterbacks.
Yeah, just ridiculous. It's from Tiger, Georgia.
Okay.
All right, let's see. They don't play any of the big boys. It must be a lower level. But either way, those are ridiculous stats. Robin, Rabun County High School.
Yeah. 2-time Max Preps All-American. I mean, there's a reason he's playing at Georgia and starting at Georgia.
Yeah.
They are in Division 1A, D1.
Well, wasn't Dylan Raiola at Georgia? Or was it him or Julian Sand who was originally committed to Georgia? It might have been Sand.
Dylan Raiola was committed to Georgia, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I think Sayin was
Sand,
too. Or
so Sayan's actually
one
a
of his
sophomore.
top offers.
Sayin was actually a sophomore. He's a sophomore right now. He was at Ohio or Alabama last year, right? And they gave him
maybe. Maybe, and they had Milrose start, and then
he went 5 for 12. I just looked up. He went 5 for 12 and 24. He must have, or maybe he redshirted.
I was gonna say I thought he redshirted.
He redshirted, and then is this his second year at Ohio State?
No, I think this is his first year because that first game against Texas when they played, it was like a big thing. Like it's his first ever start in Ohio State uniform, and
It says he's a sophomore.
He was enrolled at Bama in 23, prepared for the 24 Rose Bowl, and then he entered the portal in February of 24.
Okay.
True sophomore.
So they only had 5 completions in 24 at Ohio State, and then this year obviously started all 13 games.
But my point of that whole question was the fact that none of us took Fernando Mendoza. That was my whole objective there. Was like this was my argument for that. Again, not that he's a bad quarterback. He's super consistent. He's done enough to win them games. He's made some huge plays for them. And he doesn't really turn the ball over. And that is the big key, I think, across the board with all of these guys, I would say, literally pretty much all of them, besides Marcel having like one bad game. Like these guys, they just don't turn the ball over. And that's why their teams are where they're at. And that's why any of these teams, I truly believe, have a shot at making a natty run and getting there, besides Oregon, because they're just not going to get there. They never will. But anybody else has a legit chance. So just kidding, Duck fans. Just kidding. You guys have a chance. You guys always do. Blah, 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 blah.
FanDuel has Oregon as the 4th best odds to win it right now at plus 750. They got Georgia plus 550, Indiana plus 310, Ohio State plus 200.
So Ohio State is still the clear fave.
Ohio State clear favorite, Indiana a little behind them, and then a pretty big drop to Georgia, Oregon.
Oh, so it wants the Big Ten rematch, huh?
Oh, it is craving the Big Ten rematch.
So what is Tech to win the whole thing?
Tech plus 850.
Take a guess what I bet him at the beginning of the year.
Tech to win it all? You took him to win it. I need to see that ticket after the show.
I got $5.
Were they probably plus 3,000?
2,600, dude.
Let's go. Should have put a grand on this. Sell that ticket now.
Yeah. I'm like, man, I gotta fade it. I'm just gonna start putting $5 on some other teams because the box is loaded with teams, man. But I gotta ride with them. That's who I took. I gotta ride with them. I gotta do it.
I'll say is Bama plus 3,000 seems kind of like a good number to me. I know they got to win four tough ones, but I mean, it's Alabama.
They gotta go
3,000 is crazy.
Put $1
Can
on
Ty
it.
Simpson do it without that run game?
No, well, Jam Miller's back, so they'll have at least someone back. But I don't know.
Just put
That's a
$1
tough.
on it.
Might as well. They got to go through Oklahoma, Indiana, probably
Tech or
Ohio or Oregon or Tech or Oregon. That's the easier side of the bracket than the other one. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather play them than Ohio State and Georgia.
Yeah, me too.
You're gonna have to play everybody eventually. It doesn't matter. You're gonna have to play
just
somebody
win.
eventually.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for staying up late, Cody. Thanks for getting off a plane late, jumping on this thing, dude.
Yes, thank you,
awesome
Cody.
having you on this. Yeah, this is great. This is great having some FCS representing on here. South Dakota State, go Jackrabbits. Now I'm a Jackrabbits fan. I mean, the mascot alone's got me.
It's awesome, dude.
Got me in.
Some of the FCS teams around here got some pretty sick mascots, dude.
Yeah. No, they got me. They got good unis. No, I'm all in on the Jackrabbits for next year for sure. No, I appreciate you guys hopping on late night. I know, Liam, you're looking at past 1 a.m. You're still awake.
117 and going strong.
Anybody that's still on this, that's East Coast, man, I applaud you. Absolutely applaud you. It's 10:17. I gotta be up. I gotta work at like 6 a.m. So it's even late for me. I don't know what you guys are. You guys aren't working tomorrow, but yeah. And I wanted to also say happy holidays and a Merry Christmas to everybody, because this is probably, I don't think we'll do one next week. We might be able to recap something maybe on like Tuesday. If there's nothing else going on for us, if we can do it, maybe we can get Cody on here again, do a little recap. Since he's home, he's back in the Northwest for a little while. So thank you guys though. Appreciate you guys hopping on. Thank you everybody for listening. Please like, follow, and subscribe to the YouTube channel at Total Coverage Sports. Follow me at LowHert24 on X, and please, I tagged Cody in the link. Liam's already been tagged in it a million times. He's reposting it, so I know you guys can find his link. Go ahead and go like and follow all Cody stuff. He's on there. CODY BROWN, South Dakota State assistant coach, special teams, man. Go Jackrabbits. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hert Locker After Dark with the boys. We're signing off here. Merry Christmas, everybody.